They've won Tonys and Oscars and Emmys and Grammys. There's no red carpet because they're home in their jammies. From Melrose Place to Broadway to Janeway and her crew, let Seth and James bring all the stars to you.
Anywho,
they're entertaining everyone, so who's gonna grouse? Just sit right back and you'll hear some tales on Stars in the House.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Stars in the House.
I don't know why I'm frozen. Hi, I'm Seth. This is James.
Yes.
Stars in the House, for those who don't know, we began this right when everything shut down in March, and we are raising money for the Actors Fund. And the Actors Fund is for everyone in the arts. No matter what you do, on stage, off stage, in front of the camera, behind the camera, every aspect of the arts, dance, singing, acting, but also front of house, wig maker, ushers, anybody can go to actorsfund.org and say, I cannot pay my rent, I can't pay my health insurance, I can't pay my medical bills, and the Actors Fund will give you some cashola. What should people do if they want to donate?
If you want to donate, go to starsinthehouse.com, or you can text Fund 2020 to 56512. You will get a receipt from the Actors Fund. You will forward that receipt to donations@starsinthehouse.com, and perhaps Priscilla Lopez will read your donation message aloud. Seth, show the poster, because today and tomorrow we're doing this week only for our vote-a-thon posters. People really have been donating this week. We had our vote-a-thon, if you don't know, on Tuesday, a 10-hour vote-a-thon. I think it's on that. It should be on the vote-a-thon highlights. I think go up, maybe,
so many.
Or maybe David can put it up. David, will you put the poster up? Anyway, we've had such an incredible response, including yesterday, that our grand total is now up to money's raised.
Since March?
Since March. There it is.
So that poster you're talking about right now, we had an all-day show on Election Day, starting 9 a.m. in the morning until 7 p.m. at night. It was James's idea, because he said we're all going to be tense. Little did we know we were going to be tense every single day. We should be having,
which is why we're doing this all week.
Yeah. So this poster has all of our guests from that day, because we had literally a guest probably every 7 minutes, and we'll autograph it if you donate $100, and we will mail it to you. And by we will mail it to you, James's mom will mail it to you.
Give us a week or two.
Yeah,
you'll get it before Thanksgiving.
So if you donate $100, you will get that poster. We'll sign it, and we've been really getting great donations this week.
Really have.
Just so you know, is a drop in the bucket to what the Actors Fund needs. I mean, they literally are doling out millions of dollars, because barely anybody in the arts is working. But how much have we raised?
We are up to $562,010 raised for the Actors Fund.
Just from y'all, as people in the South say.
Wow, Seth, I don't know if I've ever heard you say y'all.
I've been married to a Texan for 8 years. So thank you, everybody, for donating.
Okay.
What else should I say? Wait, it sounds like you guys are in a tunnel. Our sound is bad? David, is our sound bad? I don't know. There's one. I think we just always sound bad. We just have no tech. Yeah, David says no. You know what? Maybe your headphones sound like you're in a tunnel. Okay, there you gotta go.
So as we announced, I think, was it yesterday? I'm losing track of time. Yesterday, what the heck is Mandy doing besides upstaging?
Our dog is always upstaging us.
And it's always at places. She's totally fine until then.
She bites her nails.
She is. She's nail
obsessed. So bizarre.
Anyway, we announced yesterday that on Tuesday,
Sha-na-na-na.
That's right. Been playing the theme song to Family Ties basically every 25 minutes.
We've been watching like all 12 seasons again, because we have
12 seasons.
Whatever the hell it is.
But it's a lot of episodes.
We have the cast of Family Ties.
Family Ties, that's right. And it's going to be on Tuesday. So I'm actually going to do double duty, and I'm going to watch the show on one screen and start picking out clip or continue picking up clips
right next door.
On the other. But it's been amazing the coverage that we've gotten for it. So thank you.
We got a Rolling Stone. Like we've been like in Deadline and stuff like that about the show. We got a Rolling Stone, which is great. That means that the more people that know about the show, the more money that we raise. Because to this day, people are like, "What Stars in the House?" Oh my God, that's the whole point.
Oh,
like this video.
Yes, we always forget that.
You have to like this video if you're watching it, because it really helps the algorithms. Subscribe to the channel. All this kind of stuff just helps us get big time guests. Yeah, follow us on all that. I hate the social media stuff, but you got to follow us on all this kind of stuff. Like it. And also, if you're watching right now, just copy and paste it and share it in your social media, because there could be tons of Michael Bennett fans out there, Coruscant fans, that don't know the show is going on, and they'll watch and they'll donate to the Actors Fund, because like I mentioned the other day, all these Orlando people at Disney got fired.
Right.
Like a week ago, like 18,000 people are going to be going to the Actors Fund soon asking for money. So please share it and please donate.
All right,
Anything else,
Seth,
Hank?
no. So I'm going to do
Take
double
that
duty
fun.
right now. I'm going to take the dog. I'm going to be in the other room. I'm going to
Okay.
be watching both, and I'm going to do my best to be back for Dr. LaPook. Okay,
Oh
bye.
yeah, we have a medical break. So
Right.
here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna start with Priscilla Lopez because she missed our Chorus Line reunion. So we're gonna do a smattering of Priscilla Lopez, and then we're gonna start the scandal. Then we're gonna bring on Dr. LaPook for our medical break. Then we're gonna go back to the scandal. But let me go to Ms. Priscilla Lopez, who is now a silver fox. We are obsessed with her new look. Please welcome the original Diana Morales, Tony Award winner, Priscilla Lopez.
Hi. Yes, here, take a good look.
It looks great. Is there anything in it making it kind of
No, that's like my color. It's like silver. I thought it would be white, but it's silver. And then I got a little dark stuff happening on the side here. So it's kind of interesting. It's very punky, I think.
It's punky, but it's still, by the way, the Diana Morales hairstyle.
Yes, she's just, she's exactly.
She's not 25 anymore. It's all good.
She's 27.
Okay, so before I bring on your scandal castmates, and I've already been warned that nobody remembers anything about the show, which is fine. I just want to talk about
Including me.
Thank you. But you couldn't do the Chorus Line reunion. I know that you had that conflict that weekend. I just want to talk to you for just a couple minutes for the fans out there like me. So you originated Diana Morales. You were part of the tape sessions. What people are always curious about is like how much of your story in a Chorus Line is your actual story.
110%.
So as opposed to Kay Cole, who really is kind of doing Donna McKechnie's story with like my arms in the air, that's your story.
I actually got to suffer that personally. Yes.
Talking about Mr. Karp.
Yes.
What about your first line? I was born in a Hollywood bed in the Bronx.
True. Everything I say in that show is true, and it came out of my mouth, and including other things that came out of my mouth that other people say.
I know one of them.
What?
Talk about the talent agent that came by, because that went to Christine.
Yes, that's exactly right. Renee Bauman, she says, one day this man came around to my house selling dancing lessons, and he put me up against the wall, spun me around, picked up my foot, touched it to the top of my head, and said, "This little girl is going to be a star." That was me, for real.
Literally, first of all, a strange man. Nowadays, like, literally was in jail. But when you were a kid, he just literally...
Well, I didn't answer the door. My mother let him in. I didn't do it.
And they took those lines and they gave them to Christine. I just love that. So what was it like? I mean, we have to talk about well, actually, let me just go back for a second. I want to just talk about the actual opening number. When you learned that opening number, which I'm obsessed with, how scary was it to do on the Tony Awards? Was it fun dancing on the Tony Awards for Chorus Line? Or was it like, oh my God, I'm dancing live. What if I mess up?
So, oh my God, I'm dancing live. What am I going to say? But we're dancing live every night. The only difference is that they've taped it so people can see you falling off your turns and whatnot. But I had choreographed into the opening number because I fell off my turn and then I would say shit and got a big laugh, and then Michael Bennett said, keep it in. So I had it done that I could miss my double turn during the jazz combination every night.
Oh, okay. Well, by the way, it's during the ballet combination that you missed the double turn. I literally have the clip.
Is it the ballet combination?
Oh,
yes, because then it goes into the ensemble. Yes.
By the way, it really sounds like you're saying shit on the Tony Awards.
I am. I don't lie.
Let's talk. I love that you literally choreographed in yourself messing up the dance for no stress. Let's watch how adorable this is.
Group up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, dancing with your tongue again.
I think it was for the Tony Awards. Okay, so talk about Mr. Karp, because it was almost like you were doing a cabaret act, but on Broadway. Like when you take your real life and you turn it into your act. Like what you I guess my point is you played so many characters. What is it like kind of basically playing yourself? Is it harder to act that or is it easier?
It's harder. I'll tell you the truth is. But as we were developing the show and everything, and we were talking from our own experiences in our own lives, we had the freedom to do whatever we felt at that moment, to develop what we were doing. So we were doing like real life rehearsing with real life experience. Once the show was set, I remember Michael coming back and giving me a note because when Sax says to me, "Well, do you want this job?" And I go, "Sure, I do." It's sure I do. But I had started getting, "Sure, I do," with a little attitude. And he said to me, "Priscilla, this show is helping you change. You're getting some notoriety and whatever, and so." But Deanna Morales can't change. She has to stay in this place so everybody every night sees the show that we did. Where this show has been frozen, as they say. So at that moment, that was when Priscilla Lopez and Deanna Morales split.
I love it because you had a lead in a Broadway show. So when he's asking you, "Do you want the job?" You're like, "Yeah, but by the way, I'm a leading lady." But Deanna Morales is just not a girl that's like desperate for a job. That's so interesting.
Right. Because we were always working from what we felt at the moment. And so I was, so that night I was feeling a little more snarky. So I went, "Yeah, sure, I want this job, But that's not where Deanna Morales needed to be. She was very, "Sure, I want this job. Please give me the job, please, So as I say, that's when we really parted ways. And I understood, oh, right, I'm doing a show, I'm doing a play, I'm doing a musical that is set. I'm not doing my everyday life. Now I'm the actress coming in and doing this play for you, as opposed to Priscilla just doing what she felt every night."
However, the role still basically is you. It's just you.
Yes, it is.
And how did you feel about Marvin Hamlisch giving you the pop song of the whole show? How did you land that one?
I don't know. I think it had to do with my character. The fact that you're talking about what I did for love, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think it has to do with my character because my character reveals herself as a fighter. And I'm never giving up, and I'm not going to give up. And I stood in front of that stage door, and and then even in the song with Mr. Carp, and I dug right down to the bottom of my soul. And she fights through the whole show. And so I just think in terms of the character who would have the most internal need to make a statement would be Deanna Morales. That's how I think it happened.
I'm going to show that clip of when you came back to the Tony Awards, 6 years or 5 years after Coruscant, and they had you sing it, but they made you wear your original costume. Did you ever break down the fight against that leotard again?
Well, I have it up in the attic somewhere. I should have put it on for tonight.
Yes. Well, Molly, you look amazing, but I just can't believe you had to sing this whole song in a close-up in that leotard. Here's just the beginning of it. It's amazing. The song, it just became the hit of the whole show.
Kiss today goodbye. The sweetness and the sorrow. Wish me luck the same to you. But I can't regret what I did for love, what I did for
It's so pretty.
It is.
It's so tight. It wasn't constricting being in that. It just seems so tight.
No, it was great. If you notice, everyone was half naked up there. They'd have short sleeves and whatever. And we opened in the middle of winter at the Schubert Theater where there wasn't enough heat. So everyone was getting really sick. But I had a turtleneck. I had that little sweater over. I had my socks on. So I was roasty toasty. Trish Garland, she was like, who else had no,
Kelly?
Yeah. Well, Kelly, right. Well, Kelly was made to make her look nude, actually. That's why she was all in that flesh-colored thing. Because, that's her underlying way of communicating, sexually.
Yeah.
So,
Yes,
so that was it. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to try to have Kelly on tonight, too, because she was in Scandal, but she couldn't do it. I know. But
I know. I talked to her today and she said, please send my condolences to him that I can't be there. Because, if you think I'm bad on the computer, Kelly doesn't even know how to open it. So, so I said, one day, you know what? Maybe one day Kelly and I will get together on the same computer and we'll do something together.
I want that. Two best friends. All right.
Yes.
Two more things I want to say before I bring on my Scandal are, Elaine Stritch once talked about perhaps a piece of Mahler's in Company, which, by the way, I know you were in, but how she didn't know what she thought Mahler was there. She thought it was. So do you remember the moment?
She thought it was a crawler, perhaps a piece of crawler.
Like Mahler's Bakery. I'll have a piece of Mahler.
Yes.
So do you remember the moment in the chorus line, the lyric that you sang that you didn't know what it meant? Because you told me years ago.
Oh, God. Please remind me. My brain is dead.
Changes, oh, down below.
Oh, up above. Right. Yes. I didn't know that I was talking about my boob episodes there.
It's a song about puberty. How did you not know it was about you getting a rack?
I have no idea. I would go like this, looking up to the heavens, up above. Like I'm talking about heaven. It took me a long time to figure that one out.
I have a clip of it. Imagine this is Priscilla sounding amazing, but having no idea what she's acting.
Hello, 12. Hello, 13. Hello, 9.
Changes old.
Down below.
You're busted. But you sound great. Okay,
I know. Do you think I can borrow that note and put it back inside?
You sound great. Okay, before we bring the panel, I want to do 2 seconds. One more thing about Nothing, your big song. Did anyone from your performing arts high school come to see you and say, by the way, sorry we were so mean to you in acting class?
No, but I did get a lot of letters. People, alumni would send me letters saying, thank you so much for finally telling that story. I just suffered so much there, whatever. And then one time I went to a reunion of the alumni and I actually got attacked and said, there were all these people saying, how could you do that? How could you say that? Mr. And it wasn't Mr. We'll call him Mr. Carp. That's Mr. Carp you're talking about, right? I said, yeah, that's him. And they said, well, how could you do that? I said, well, that's not true. I said, well, it was true to me. That's what happened to me. Maybe it didn't happen to you, but that was my story, what happened to me. I'm sorry, that's the truth. So I used to get both ends of, thank you for being our savior and telling the story, and how dare you? How dare you?
They wound up embracing you, because I remember I went to some like performing arts high school event, and weren't you like an honorary alumni now, and like they're obsessed with you?
Well, it's Chorus Line is the gift that keeps giving. Right now I'm in Chicago right now. I'm doing a little role in a Disney film, and I'm working with all these kids, and so their mothers, they're all, oh my God, when we heard you were going to be in this movie, you're Diane Morales, and I go, wow, it's incredible. It's just, it's amazing, and it's a gift. It's a beautiful gift, and I'm so grateful to have had the show and to have had the experience and to have the years of residual love. No, not residuals, but residual love.
Yeah.
It goes a long way. No, and it makes you feel like you did something that really affected a lot of people in a really good way.
Everybody my age that went into show business, it was because of Chorus Line. We were, I mean, it was the icon of our generation. We were obsessed with it. So this is you, I think, still at the Public Theater doing your big number. Let's watch. This is the last half, and then I'm going to bring everybody on to talk about Scandal. Watch how great you are.
Jesus Christ! Went to church, praying Santa Maria. Send me guidance, send me guidance on my knees. Went to church, praying Santa Maria. Help me feel it, help me feel it. And the voice from down at the bottom of my soul came up through the top of my head. And the voice from down at the bottom of my soul, here is what it said.
That made me cry. It really did. I just kind of jumped back in my body and did it. It's nice. Thank you.
It's such a star performance. There's so much power. It's such an amazing performance. Everyone just loves you. There's so many-
I need a tissue now. No, really. I mean, you forget things and you forget how you felt about things. And so it was just a nice, sorry, I'm crying. I'm feeling so
Oh, we
silly.
love it. We're all obsessed with you. As Steve Wishnoff just commented, he wrote, "Of course, I was a Hamilton in my generation." It was the worldwide. We were obsessed. You guys you changed Broadway. Okay, so it's really Michael Bennett that, of course, is the core of all this brilliance. So I'm going to bring on all these Michael Bennett people, talk about Scandal. So first of all, how about I bring on the woman who emailed me in the first place about it? I'm going to bring on Trish. Hi, Trish.
Hi.
Hi, Trish.
Hi, Priscilla.
And I'm going to bring on the man, one of the stars of Scandal, Mr. Treat Williams. Hi, Treat.
How are you?
It's all good. Then I'm going to bring on Michael Bennett's right-hand man, my God, since the 60s, and it's all in his amazing book, Dancing Man, Mr. Bob Avian.
Hello.
Hi, Bobby. Trish, your dog is as barky as my dog.
I know.
And
I have to go shut them up.
it's okay. And one of my pals from yesteryear who worked very closely with Michael Bennett on Scandal, and by the way, was also in Course on Broadway. Please welcome the amazing Danny Herman.
Hey, hello.
Hi, Danny.
Hey, Seth, how you doing?
It's all good. Before we get into Scandal, I would love to know how you all got connected with Michael Bennett in the first place. Treat Williams, how did you first hook up with Michael Bennett?
Well, I did my first musical with Wayne Cilento, West Side Story in Stamford, Connecticut, when we were both 18 years old. And I think because I was always hanging around when Wayne was doing backup for people before Chorus Line helped, and also Michael's brother was my stage manager when I was doing Pirates of Penzance. So,
Frank?
I mean, Michael and I knew each other vaguely, and I guess I did a movie called Hair, and I think he saw that and thought that was pretty good. So there we were.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Okay, Trish, how did you get? Okay, you're right in the logo of Stars in the House. Move a little bit. There we go. How did you get involved with Michael Bennett?
I was 21 years old and saw an open call in the newspaper backstage for an equity production, which was Scandal, and very rarely was there an open call for an equity show. So I took a bus from Atlantic City for 2 hours and went to the audition. And Danny Herman asked for everybody to do a double pirouette, and I did a triple pirouette, and that's where it started.
What a show off. Okay, it paid off. Danny Herman,
Yes.
how did you get involved with Michael Bennett? Chorus Line?
Yeah, Chorus Line. I've done the show on Broadway for maybe 5 years, and that's how I met him.
Was he at your actual audition for Chorus Line? Did he cast you?
No, not the initial. He was at the final call for it with the whole crew. The gang.
And were you Mike?
No, I started as Mark. Did Mark for about 6 months, and then I ended up being Mike for about 3 years, and then I started to do Scandal, so I left, and then I came back as Larry, and then I went back as Mike again.
Were you tap dancing Mike or flipping around Mike?
Both. Yeah.
How dare you?
No,
Bob Avian, you have the longest relationship. How did you hook up with Michael Bennett?
Well, I was in West Side Story on Broadway, the second run, and we closed and were booked for the European tour. And some of us were asked, some not. So I show up at rehearsals, and Michael's there. He's 17. I'm 22. And my best friend in the show was this girl, Audrey. She loved young men. And I said to her, see that kid over there? Stay away from him. Within a month, they were dating. So I got so close to Michael because of my friend Audrey. And we became a threesome. Now, like I said, I was only 22. but we became very tight. And when the show closed up in Europe and we moved back to New York, I was living with my parents. And he said, I have no place to go. Can I live with you and your folks? And I said, sure, come on. And that was the beginning of it. And it only snowballed from then on.
Oh, I love it. Went from friends to working together.
Yeah.
And Lopez, I feel, Priscilla, you began with Company?
No, Henry Sweet Henry.
Wow.
Remember Bob? I was so bad in that show, doing bad things.
Priscilla and I, both of us in that.
I had so much fun in that show. It was fantastic. Remember the whole thing with the cart?
Yes, and Jabba Jabba.
Jabba Jabba, yes. That Jabba Jabba was one time Michael Bennett, we were on the line and he was saying, you have to be real, you have to be real. And when you talk to each other, really talk to each other and say real words, not just Jabba Jabba Jabba. So Bob was standing in for Sammy Williams on the line.
Yeah.
And we did the scene or whatever. So I turned to him and I go, Jabba 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 Jabba. Which just cracked you up so terrible. And it was just, it just became a thing then. Every time I saw you, it was Jabba Jabba.
Yeah, it was our nightly routine.
Yes.
So, Bob, you were in Henry Sweet Henry with Priscilla?
Yeah, I was dance captain. First time I worked with Michael as one of his assistants, and in the chorus.
So, to me, he was just like, he basically like, there's certain like people that are just at the top of musical theater brilliance, and there are maybe like 5 people, and he's obviously one of them, or at least the top. And Priscilla, I've heard you describe, I would love you each to describe what you thought was brilliant about him. Because Priscilla, I remember you talking about like the way he would talk to you, like you were the only person in the room.
Yeah. Well, he had a thing about like when he wanted to talk to you, he'd grab you by the arm and sort of just drag you away, and he always, I think he had the gift of just making you feel like you were the most important person in the world to him, and so you were, in a way, you opened your soul up to him, or you just opened your artistic being and wanted to be the best for him, and please him. But the shows that I did with him, and you could always see it was a Michael Bennett show. He had such taste and such an eye for something and detail, with such detail that I just loved it. And you knew what you were doing every single moment because everything was on a count and on a look and on a head and that. So everything was clean. But in Chorus Line, we had a lot of freedom. We had a lot of freedom. And then in the end, he basically, I guess, picked and chose what would make it to the stage, So I just think he had incredible taste and instincts.
Trish, why did you think he was so brilliant? What was brilliant about him?
Well, I didn't know much about Michael except for that he did a Chorus Line, which I saw as a little girl, and here I was working for him, and all these seasoned dancers who I was working with were like, "Oh, Michael's coming," and everybody was very scared of him, and he would throw a shoe at you if you did the choreography wrong. And I thought he was just a big, lovable, nice guy. So I would kind of like walk into his office in my groovy little clothes and living in the East Village, and I looked at Madonna, and he'd get such a kick out of my outfits that I wasn't scared of him or intimidated by him. He was like a big kid, and that's, like Priscilla said, he made everybody feel so special.
Such a skill set, because when you're that successful, a lot of times you make everyone feel much less than. So it's amazing that it actually made you feel special.
Every single person.
Trudy Williams, you've done so much film and also Broadway. Why do you think Michael Bennett, why was he a great director to you? Or was he a great director to you?
He was. He challenged me because I was not a good dancer. But I think that I was talking to Wayne about that today. Michael had something that very few directors had. He was, at his heart, a great dancer and a choreographer. And yet at the same time, he had an actor's understanding of being truthful. And he understood that the characters needed to be the story and the characters needed to be the most important thing in a musical. and that the dancing would be an expression of who they were and what they were feeling. Michael was one of the few people that actually, instead of My Fair Lady, where they'd sing and then dance a number, Michael incorporated dance and acting and music in a way that I don't think anybody, I think he changed, as you said, Priscilla, he changed Broadway in that regard. He sort of brought the Actors Studio to Broadway. And it was an extraordinary experience. He didn't let you cheat. And he was, as Wayne and I were talking about today, he's a genius. He had an extraordinary gift for understanding all three parts of it: singing, acting, mise en scène, staging. He had it all. It was extraordinary. We lost somebody very, very much too soon.
Yeah, it's tragic. But Bob Avian, you got that. Were you the translator of his brilliance? Like, what was your role with him?
Well, in the beginning, one of his many assistants, but because we were best friends, I wound up staying there permanently, and I could always tell him the truth about what I felt about anything. And he respected that, and he liked my opinions, and we just solidified that and went on, and he was always my best friend.
Even during these high-powered shows with so much money riding on it, you guys didn't have big fights about you're ruining the show, you're ruining the show. Like, none of that?
Never. It was a roller coaster, whether we were going from Coco Chanel to Hal Prince and Follies, whatever. One was trippier than the next, and we got off on it. And Michael could always rely on me to be there, to be the shoulder he needed. And I learned a lot from him. And I didn't know if I had any skill as a choreographer, but he forced me to try, and I did. And I was okay. And, and then when we started producing, he made me a co-producer. And so our whole organization was always Michael and I. And we named our first company Plum Productions. And I said, Michael, when you're a big star, are we going to have a fruit bowl on the top of the building with the plum in it? And he said, that'll be the beginning.
Now, by the way, everyone that's enjoying this, Bob's book is Amazing Dancing Man, and he goes through every show that he did with Michael Bennett, and of course, all the shows that he did after Michael Bennett. The book is amazing.
Cool.
Oh, it just happens to be there.
Very nice.
So good. Yes, Bob, I'm going to do a whole evening with you, and we'll go through all your shows. So just trust me. We're going to do Turkey Lurkey. We're going to go all Dreamgirls. Trust me. Danny Herman, you were like this young buck in a chorus line. How did Michael Bennett pluck you and say, work with me on Scandal? Like, I mean, well, actually, before I get to that, why do you think Michael Bennett was so brilliant?
Well, I definitely agree. He made everybody in the room feel comfortable, important, creative, involved. He just made you feel so much part of the process. And then his skill was beyond belief. He could take a moment and do it 5 different ways in 2 hours. And it wasn't like these big discussions about will this work. He would just go down these paths and try things and mold things and shape things. And suddenly moments that you weren't sure about started to take focus, and then it would affect other moments. And he liked honesty. So at the bottom of everything, he encouraged honest reactions and opinions about what he was doing. He was a great tap dancer, so he had wonderful rhythm. The scenes, the numbers, everything flowed beautifully. He really was. He was one of the first people that really, the only person really that can really work on their feet. He was present on his feet. It wasn't like you thought, like, oh my God, he planned this out 2 days ago and we're kind of forcing it. No, he was there on his feet. It was quite amazing.
Yeah, he would choreograph on the spot.
Yeah.
And he put the music on his head, and everyone would be behind him, and he said, okay, let's do this. And then he'd start dancing, and we would dance and dance. And then he would add something to it. And then, and it just kept building and building and building that way. And I always thought, wow, that's amazing. It's not like he came in and, okay, now on here, you're going to put this over here, and 5, 6, 7. You saw it coming out of him and reaching you.
Dan, I recently read in Ken Mendelbaum's book that he said to Danny, I want you to do the sexiest, I want us, you and Michael, to do the sexiest choreography ever to be done on Broadway. That's what he wanted.
Yes, it was, yeah. It was a show he would say is about sex, freedom, and there were occasionally like some pictures that were sort of risque posted around to make, you remember those pictures that were on the wall?
Oh my God.
And I remember us doing that dance.
It was nasty choreography. It was hot.
I was just going to say, if he wanted a sexy dancer, he picked the wrong guy. But we did have a lot of fun.
Okay, Hope, wait 1 second. We have to take our medical break. So this is the end of the PG-13 section. We're going to go to the R-rated section after this. But we have Dr. John LaPlante. We have Dr. John LaPlante from CBS, who always does our medical break every show because we are in the middle of a pandemic. So everyone take a break. You're going to come back in 2 minutes. If you have any medical questions, just wave and you can come on. But we got some COVID updates. Trita, see in a minute. Priscilla, see in a minute. Trish, see in a minute. Danny, see in a minute. Bobby, see in a minute.
Hold on. Because it turns out that you do sound like you're in a tunnel.
Wait, so the person that said it sounded like in a tunnel was right?
David says we got that StreamYard changed their audio settings today.
Oh, so man. Okay, hold on.
I'm enjoying the show very much, Seth. Doing double duty down here, but let's see.
Default microphone. That's it. Don't have to go to the... Shouldn't I just change the actual...
No.
Oh, it wasn't on Roadcaster.
On Roadcaster, David.
Okay, so BP, who made the comment about me sounding like a tunnel, thank you very much. And everyone else, thanks for gaslighting him and saying, Seth, you sound amazing, about me, including David. All right, please welcome to the stage.
He didn't put his there now.
Yeah, you're busted.
There he
Okay.
goes.
Yeah, you're busted.
Yep.
All right, Dr. John LaPook. Hi,
You
Dr.
guys
John.
have a sight for sore eyes and a sight for sore ears. Truly. So what's happening in the Roxy? I'm going to do two things tonight. One is the pandemic, 121,000 cases yesterday. There's a Harvard epidemiologist, Mark Lipschitz, who thinks it may be growing exponentially. I really feel a little bit in my bones and a little bit from what I hear that in the near future, we may start to see the first of the applications for the emergency use authorization of vaccines. I don't know exactly when that will be, but I don't think it's going to be all in the too far distant future. And I think what that means is right now, at this moment, when people are fed up and they're just willing, maybe some people are saying, whatever, I'm going to get infected, and eventually, sooner or later. Don't think that way. If you can just not get infected for the next 3 months, 4 months, there is going to be a vaccine. I'm quite certain of it, that there will be a vaccine. There are several that are already in phase 3. There are more than 100 vaccines out there. From a medical scientific point of view, it makes sense that they should work. We can't have magical thinking and think it's just going to be bad luck and these vaccines aren't going to work. They're going to work. How effective are they going to be? They may be more effective than we think. So there's a reason to try to hold off. Don't just say, I'm gonna get COVID, so might as well.
Right.
That's that. So upbeat. Science is coming, not fast enough, but it's coming. The other thing I want to do, I've threatened to do this for months now, but I want to do it's not singing. Don't worry. It's I really want to, and everybody said that they wanted this. I want to just do a clinical pearl, nothing to do with COVID. I'm an internist and a gastroenterologist. I'm a professor of medicine at NYU Langone, and I've done more than 1,000 segments on CBS in various formats. Let me share some of that, and I can do it very quickly. The clinical pearl today is going to be melanoma. Okay, melanoma is a deadly skin cancer. For some reason, it's affecting people younger than it used to. We don't really know why that is. And right now, because of the pandemic, I'm going to make the link to the pandemic, people are not getting their screenings the way they should. Right. They're not going to the dermatologist. They're not getting their colonoscopies. They're not getting their mammographies, their ultrasound, even their pap smears. So if you look at, first of all, it is yes, you can get a melanoma. In places where there's a lot of sun, but it can be anywhere in your body.
including where the moon don't shine. It can be between your toes. It can be anywhere. So you got to look everywhere. I think people should be doing self-exam. You know, and I always tell my patients, even though it hasn't been proven to save lives, because it's hard to do the exact experiment. You have to have two sets of identical twins, and one does self-exam and the other doesn't. But, you know, on a regular basis, I think once a month makes sense. If you're a woman, you're doing self-breast exam once a month, do it then, and then get your partner if they're, you know, and do it with your partner, male or female. But here, if you see a spot and you wonder, is this something I should call my dermatologist about? A, B, C, D, E. A, is it asymmetrical? These would be warning signs. Doesn't mean you have melanoma, warning signs. A, is it asymmetrical? That means is one side not the mirror image of the other. B, are the borders irregular? So it could be the mirror image, it could be symmetrical, but it could be scalloped and irregular borders. C, color. Is it black? Is it purple? Is it just weird looking, different than you normally see? D, diameter greater than an eraser, which is about 6 millimeters. We know what an eraser looks like because melanomas can expand this way. And E, very important, evolving. Is it changing? So the beautiful thing is that melanoma is found early, cured. Melanoma in situ, where you just have it in one little area, you can take it off, and that's it. It's gone. It doesn't come back. And I will say here now, for the first time ever, that 14 years ago, I found my own melanoma in situ.
Wow.
On my thigh. And it was a 3 millimeter little thing. And I went to the dermatologist, and he said, it's nothing. It's a senile keratosis. And I turned to the medical student he was with, but I'm really talking to him. And I said, a patient comes in saying they've had a mole that's changed. He goes, all right, I'll take it off. The next day, I get the phone call from the head of dermatology. It's a melanoma in situ, which means kind of biologically inactive. I mean, it's right there. It hasn't spread. It hasn't gone deeper. But I got a big chunk taken out. And I tell you, you know, it makes you think. Now, A, B, C, D, E, you will not be able to repeat that back to me right now because nobody ever can. So let me give you, and you can always Google it, but let me give you an easy way. Dr. Francesca Fusco, who's my dermatologist, who's fantastic, gave me the best single piece of advice that you will remember if you see a spot. The ugly duckling sign. If there's a duckling that does not look like the other ducklings, if there's a mole, there's a freckle, there's a macule that doesn't look like the other ones, call your doctor. And if there's a doubt, you know, take a picture. If you're taking a picture, folks, put a dime or something, a ruler right next to it so that you can know what the scale is. Give the person, whoever you're sending the picture to, enough of a perspective so you know what the heck that you're looking at. And I'm telling you, that's my clinical pearl for today. And
that's
my little
great.
Really
sharing.
As she says, Crystal Girl, thanks for the specific melanoma information. Thank you, Dr. LaPook.
All right, well, now, people out there, if you think that's enough, Dayenu, you don't want to hear anything like that again about medical other stuff, say that. But if you want to hear a clinical pearl, I can do that once a week or so and just give you a quick little brain dump, a little something about screening, about this problem, that problem, chest pain. There's a million things.
No, I love it because I think the thing that we're all seeing this year in 2020 is that people are ignoring many other medical issues.
Yeah.
I mean, that we know that. So I think this is a good reminder to all of us. So I say bring it on.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, Dr.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Take care.
I think we have some donations.
Oh, great. Are you going to send them to?
I'm going to send. Okay. So, well, we got a lot. Okay. So, okay. We have some donations to read. Okay. So hold on. I'm going to bring back Ms. Lopez, Ms. Trish, Mr. Treat. What a great first name. Bob, Danny. Hey, Priscilliac. Do you have your phone with you?
I do.
Okay, I'm texting you these donations for you to read out loud. I don't know if you're going to need your glasses or not, but check your text.
Okay, let's see.
We are getting some nice donations, people. This is all about for the Actors Fund, which is for anybody in the arts, no matter what they do, and no matter where they live, not just New York, California, anywhere. They can go to actorsfund.org and get help. Okay, Priscilla, let's hear what we got tonight so far.
Well, there's a bunch of them. Which one should I read?
Read them all, girl.
All of them? Oh my God. Okay, let's see. Thank you to Seth and James for keeping us entertained and sane during this pandemic and this election. And thank you, Dr. Lapouk, for keeping us informed with actual facts and science. Congratulations on your well-deserved LOC honor. Elena from Pennsylvania, $103. Thank you, Elena.
Thank you. The LOC is, by the way, Library of Congress entered our site for being part of the COVID help. Anyway, that's great.
Okay. Rick from Minnesota, $210, $5 for each of the 42 years I've had a schoolboy crush on Priscilla Lopez. Oh, let's see if we can make that a $10 crush. Okay, thank you so much, Rick. Oh, Seth and James, like many others who have expressed appreciation for both of your giving of yourselves to support those in need, I too am grateful. A big thank you to Dr. Lapouk for his calming insight. Allison from Virginia, $128. Thank you, Allison. And so grateful for the miracle you've been working by hosting your amazing show. Your generosity and love are endless and so much appreciated. We are huge fans of Stars in the House. Cheryl and Larry from Ohio, $100.
Yes.
And last but not least, this donation is in honor of Danny Herman. He taught me to dance and gave me the confidence to not toss my cookies at the audition. What does that mean? I met some of my best friends in his musical theater class, and I will be forever grateful for his generosity and spirit. Jason from Texas, $885. And that means he never tossed his cookies.
Oh, great.
That is so nice. First of all, excellent. You got the audition, Priscilla. Excellent line readings. And anyone else, keep donating. Stars in the House, and then forward to donations at starsinthehouse.com. Oh, that is so great. Okay, so now let's get into the sex. So who wants to tell me? Thank you. Who wants to tell me what the plot of Scandal was? This is the musical that never was. Treat, do you remember anything?
You remember, Treat. Go ahead.
Hey, Treat, I think you're muted, Treat. You look adorable, but you're silent. Hold on. Unmute yourself. Muted, girl. Treat. Wow, I've never seen this. Treat, you're muted. Your microphone is muted. Ah, now you're on. Oh, no, you're still muted.
Let Treat talk.
Hold on. It's not me, is it? No, that would be muted. No. Oh.
Tell you.
He'll fix it. Okay. Bob, do you remember the damn plot?
He's muted now.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
You can see it on his neck.
This is hilarious. Okay, Bob Avian, what was the plot of Scandal?
It's about a woman's liberation into sexuality. And why can't a woman like a man? And
because women,
Yeah, and it's her adventure traveling through Europe and even a dabble in lesbianism. So it was quite shocking and very funny, and great dancing. And we had the most beautiful dancers on Broadway with the most beautiful bodies because they had to be naked half the time or whatever. We had one sequence in which they were angels suspended from the ceiling, and they came down with these great pas de deux. Of course, in the rehearsal room, they weren't suspended, but in our heads, they were. And there was some beautiful, we did An American Woman in Paris was one of our ballets, and there was like 5 ballets, and mostly it was beautiful, beautiful. I wish we could have saved the dancing.
Yeah, I think it was the Menage a Trois that was written that it was the most beautiful piece that Michael ever created was the Menage a Trois, what they wrote in the book.
Right, right. And just wonderful. And Treat and Swoozie were gorgeous and wonderful and funny and beautiful to look at all times. And it was great fun. Unfortunately, after 4 workshops, we didn't have a completed score. and there was Trouble in Paradise in that area, and it was Jimmy Webb wrote the score, and Treva Silverman wrote the book, and they didn't start it.
Right, I forgot that.
You remember?
Yeah, she wrote the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
Right.
Yes. Oh God, I forgot that. Jeez. I was like very pregnant. Do you remember, Bob?
Oh my God. Yeah.
I was like super pregnant with my son Alex.
Oh my
wow.
God. How old is Alex now?
He's 35, I think. 35. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was something, but they had the
We worked so hard. Everybody worked so hard. Treat, Swoozy, and a wonderful cast, but trouble in the musical department. And
I mean-
Jerry Mitchell was in the
Right.
company. Danny, Cynthia Onrubia, Jody Mochia. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Just wonderful.
It was a great group, and I remember the opening number. Do you remember? It was.
Yeah,
It,
the hotel fire.
The Fire.
it was
Yeah.
when Trish and Treat, you carried her out of a burning hotel,
Yes.
and cow. I remember. It was pretty funny. It was some great things.
There were sequences you'd never seen on Broadway before.
Well, hold on. Let me go back for a second. Well, first of all, Treat, is your microphone working yet? Oh my God. Hold on. David, will you fix Treat's microphone? David's going to fix you. David. Okay, so David's going to handle it. So Treat, you go. What I read was that the show is about, in the first scene, this woman's husband saves people in a fire in a hotel, but he's actually with his girlfriend. So she's like, oh my God, you're cheating on me. And she's sort of this cold, quote unquote, sexless woman. So she goes on the sexual awakening journey. Susie Kurth goes through all these different sexual experiences, including Priscilla Lopez, known lesbian, known pregnant lesbian. And then
exactly.
thank you. She discovers she actually enjoys sex, and she's sort of like, oh, turns out maybe he was cheating on me because I myself was withholding sexual pleasure for myself and from him. By the end of the show, they actually wind up together. So it's kind of a love story where they find each other at the end, which I think is great. So Danny Herman, how did you suddenly go from flipping and tapping Mike to like working with Michael Bennett? What did he say to you? Did he call you at home and say, will you help me?
No, well, I'd always been a choreographer, even as a young kid. In high school, and when I was, I did 1 million industrials when I was a young kid. And when I was in Chorus Line, I would always get permission to go and do jobs. And I remember getting permission to go direct a production of Chorus Line here in Pittsburgh. So I was always asking off. And then Michael had Theone Aldridge designed a line of clothing for Jane Fonda. And there was an event at the Shubert Theater. So he asked me and Troy Garza to be the choreographers. And that's where we started a choreographic relationship.
Yeah. We considered Danny always to be family. It just was a natural connection. Yeah, it was good.
We had a great time. We had a wonderful time. I remember this beautiful entrance to the York number, this big ballet you did with Jody. You and Jody left one day, and you came back with this amazing opening number that was fluid. It felt like an old 19. Like,
yes.
And remember the revolving. You guys had Michael had a revolving stage to 890 Broadway.
Yeah.
The revolving stage.
I remember carrying Angelique Elo on my shoulders while she was taking clothes off.
Yeah. It was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, too bad we didn't have a show.
Seth, we actually, Bob, you remember this. We had an opening date. We had the theater. We had the sweatshirts. We were excited. We were ready to go.
The ad agency sent the T-shirts the last week of rehearsal that said there's going to be a scandal. On Broadway.
Wow.
And Michael looked at me and said, if they only knew. We knew that week or the week before that we were not going on. We had done 4 workshops. That's a lot of time. And we still didn't have a score that we were happy with. And, and he was also in the process of perhaps buying me the Mark Hellinger Theater. And he sang Dave. Now, when I booked Scandal in the Mark Hellinger Theater, and I said, well, you have to be careful about the Wednesday matinee, but whatever. But, you know, you start thinking on so many levels when you're in that position, as well as a choreographer or a director. I was very sad when that workshop ended. It should have gone on. And Treat, you were fabulous. And Swoosh was fabulous. And we loved you. We loved you.
Bob, thank you. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can I just say that one of the most beautiful things about that experience, more than I remember the numbers, was coming in the morning and doing the warm-up and the dance class in the morning. Everybody came in and stretched together, and it was the most wonderful bonding experience.
Yes.
To have everybody come together and sort of go through the pain of getting in the morning and getting warmed up for this thing, and everybody was so supportive of me being not a trained dancer, but that I remember being a really beautiful, one of my favorite Broadway experiences was morning dance class.
Yeah, it was a wonderful company.
And the gym, you guys would go to the gym with Michael.
We had a dance class and then the gym next door.
Yeah.
And Swoosey.
I used the gym a lot. I knew the clothes were coming off, so I was in the gym a great deal.
Yeah. And Swoosey danced every day. Swoosey came in and took whole class every day. And it was, by the way, Bob, when you said the show was funny, the show was really funny. The show was hysterical. It really was. It really was funny.
And, there were great additions, like David Rashi was absolutely wonderful in it. And
David Rush.
And Victor Garber.
Victor Garber.
And Fisher Stevens.
Fisher Stevens was like a French waiter she has an affair with, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, and then Fisher left, and Rob Morrow came in and took over.
Rob Morrow came in, yes.
Right. Fisher's going to produce a movie now.
Hold on. When you talk about everyone being really like when you're doing these workshops, people were really in the costumes that like you were in the sexy costumes in the workshop, or you were all in rehearsal clothes knowing you were going to be in sexy costumes one day?
Yes.
So no one was really in a G-string during rehearsals.
Oh, no. Dance clothes. But, you have...
Very tight-fitting dance clothes. There was not much...
dancers in clothes anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I think you're referring to this.
It's so beautiful. Oh.
There it is. There's Joe and Jerry.
Yeah, that's Danny, Michael Bennett,
Oh
Jody
my God!
Motia.
Look at Jerry. Oh my God!
Yeah.
Everyone's hair is everyone has the same hairstyle, including Jody Motia.
Yeah. this was the Menage a Trois ballet. That was the the Menage a Trois ballet.
Oh wow! And then Priscilla, how were you able to dance and be pregnant at the same time?
Well, I'm sitting here and saying, I don't remember that. I think I left and to go give birth. I really do.
So I think you were pregnant. So you did the scene in the Swiss Alps, and but you didn't do the dances because you were the other dances. But you came in the Swiss Alps for the bathtub.
That's right. I forgot that.
Yeah.
Yes, and the whole dialogue was because she wouldn't say. The dialogue was something that was, you couldn't tell if she was straight or gay, and Susie's trying to figure this out, and she keeps asking her all these questions. And then she has a nightmare, doesn't it? She has a nightmare when there was a number about, she's a dyke.
She was drinking. Yes, a trial.
Oh, the trial, right. Oh, my God. I think that pregnancy burned some memories in my head. Because I'd forgotten that.
During the trial, we were on the Swiss Alps in white furs. We were all and Fisher was the guy watching us. And then Swoosie was like, "Okay, I'm thinking about having an affair with a woman. Am I innocent or guilty?" And we'd be like, we had some pretty funny accusations. We were so rude. This whole jury was so prejudiced, saying that she was basically a dyke. She's a dyke. We had this song, this Jimmy Webb.
Right, that was the song.
The chorus would come in all, she's a dyke! She's a dyke!
It was outrageous. Every time she stood up in the trial, they moved the revolves. so she would stagger, and then she'd sit down. And then, it was really funny.
You had an actual Revolve in a rehearsal room, an actual like Les Mis.
Two.
Absolutely. From day one. Yeah.
I guess
And
Michael
lots
Bennett-
and lots of backflips and acrobatics. Remember all that? People flipping all over the
Oh,
place.
yeah.
Yes.
Mr. Herman.
John Hart, a couple of other students. It was great. Fun.
Oh, yeah.
So
I can remember doing run-throughs, Bob, where Michael invited people like Jennifer Holliday and Liz Smith wrote about it.
Oh,
How people were crying at the end of the run-through.
Yeah.
Moved at the end of the show.
I mean, what I had read that it was because the AIDS epidemic was so big in the 80s at that point that it was the sexualness of the show that doomed it. But
That's
it was
true. That's
that was-
true. That as we were coming to the end of our workshops, the AIDS epidemic was hitting. And so that didn't sit well with any of us. And we go, how is the audience going to respond to this?
Yeah.
It was-
because there was no comment about wearing a condom or anything. She was just having sex with everybody.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, everybody was having sex with everybody. We were on Broadway. What are you talking about?
I said this is the R-rated part of the show. Like, did you guys have an opening date and then suddenly you were told the show's not happening? Like, was it that close?
It was April 18th, 1983.
What? That was rehearsed?
1985. It says the opening April 18th, 1985 at the Mark Hellinger Theater. Is what
Yeah.
it says.
Oh, 85.
Yeah. We went in 83, started,
Right.
and went through 84. And it was a long thing, 4 workshops. And here, like I said, Michael was going to buy the theater. But it all fell apart.
And Swoosie Kurtz sang? Who the hell knew she could sing? Treat Williams. She sang?
Yeah, she sang beautifully. Great
Yeah.
voice.
And then just never sang
No,
again?
The
She
thing,
had
about singing, the thing about Broadway singing that one day I'd like to teach a class. A lot of it is about telling the story. It is about how good you sound. It's about telling the story. And if you can sell a song by being involved in the song, as Priscilla showed us so beautifully in that video, and not that she doesn't also have a beautiful voice, but there are many, many Broadway stars who barely sang, but they knew how to get it across to the audience.
Right.
So, and I think Susie had a lovely voice, by the way. But I've always had this thing about, you don't have to sound perfect. You just need to be involved in the telling of the story.
Good advice. Yes, absolutely.
Well, a chorus line. I mean, the voices are all over the place in a chorus line, but they're all like the show works so perfectly. It doesn't matter. Not everyone is Kay Cole, but it's like, I mean, Kelly Bishop, my favorite Kelly Bishop story she told me is that she went to an audition and she was really nervous about the high notes. So she went in and she auditioned, and after she was like, you know what? That wasn't really so hard to sing after all. And as she left, her company said, Kelly, you sang the entire song an octave down. And by the way, it was still hard, but not that hard. But
Yeah.
Rex Harrison made it easier for all of us, because he sang maybe 4 notes in all of My Fair Lady. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but then suddenly Broadway changed and it became like a vocal gymnastics.
Well, the 80s.
It became all about these incredible, crazy ranges and it had a big, because even before that time of Chorus Line, even the older shows, it was really talking, what you're saying, Treat. People just putting it over as an actor. But then it really changed when the whole
And there's nothing like a workshop where the composer is in the room and makes every sound you make best, And, yes.
No, because he can create for your voices.
Exactly. Yes.
He can Hey, Danny, did you pull any? Danny Herman is notorious for like horrific pranks. Did you pull any pranks during Scandal?
No. But I have had my fun in other shows.
Why don't you share with my audience some of your song and dance?
Song and dance. You guys know Scott Weiss. He was my partner in crime in song and dance, and it was a crazy time. We were on the road, and there was a lot of it was 85. There was a lot of people that were not doing great. So we were on the road, and we just had some fun. We occasionally we did something off stage, so he sewed people's zippers down, or put dye in their shoe, or play their vocal voice lessons over the microphone in the theaters. It was pretty fun.
Hold on. I will remember. I'm going to specifically tell you what you did. He would sew people's pants legs closed during quick changes. So they'd run off stage and they'd been so okay. That's A.
That was Scott. That was Scott. I promise.
Okay. There were maybe 8 dancers in the show. 7 of them would get together and relearn all the choreography on the opposite side. So just one.
That was true. The opening number sometimes we would do to the left.
And not tell one dancer. So one would go up by himself and then all go the opposite way.
Oh my God.
On his brain flip. He would say, my brain's flipping.
And then talk about the brick wall.
What's
brick?
That?
The brick wall with Melissa Manchester?
Oh, what?
Melissa Manchester didn't come on for almost all of Act 2, so they literally built a brick wall in front of her dressing room. You don't remember that? So when she opened the door, there was a brick wall built? How do I remember the stories better than you do?
That sounds like what they would do, though. Promise. That sounds like what they would do.
And
it was
the final way,
tour.
The way they got revenge on Danny, it was either Danny or Scott, but at the very end, they would all sing like an unexpected song ensemble that only we are hearing. And the whole chorus would sing this big final note. Well, apparently, together, was it you or was it Scott?
It was me. It was Pittsburgh, my hometown. It was the last night, and we get to the final one. And I'm more of a dancer than a singer. And we get to the final bit, and it was like an unexpected song, the big Andrew Lloyd Webber, that only we are, drum roll, boom, 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 boom. They all turned to me. Hearing, I did the last notes by myself.
Nobody else sang, and poor Danny.
They got me back. They really did.
The final. Oh, and the other thing I just remember now, right? Okay, before the show, Cynthia and Rubio would always come out and be like, "Hello, Pittsburgh. Hello, New York." And when they were in Orlando, what did you tell Cynthia?
I said, in Orlando, they pronounce it Orlando. And so the whole week, she'll go, "Hello, Orlando." On stage, it was pretty funny.
I just wanted to say one thing that was really great was you guys were doing Chorus Line at the Schubert. I was doing Grease at the Royale. Pippin was across the street with Annie Ryan King, and then we ended up doing the Ender Sisters musical. But it was a wonderful time where there was this extraordinary kind of group of talent, of people that had a lot of talent, but also wonderful personalities. It was really an exciting time. This is back earlier, around 75 or 76.
Yeah.
I don't know what Chorus Line was out, Bob.
Chorus Line was 75.
75, 76, yeah.
That was such and we were taking dance classes. Ron Farella's dance classes. Linda Habron was teaching. It was just a wonderful. It was really we were all like, God, I'm on Broadway. This is so cool. Such a great time.
Where would you go between shows, Treat? Would you go out where would you go between matinee shows, matinees and nights?
Oh, matinees. You either went to Charlie's across the street.
Joe
Allen. Joe Allen was a little more expensive, but it was either Charlie's or Joe Allen's. And there was a little deli on 46th Street, 44th Street, across from the Schubert, where this guy had been at Auschwitz. He had the numbers on his arm. And
oh my God!
We always got our sandwiches across the street there. It was called the Starlight Deli, I think it was called.
Oh, that's still there.
Yeah,
still
I
there.
think he did, but it was there. But we would go to. I think basically it was just it was either Charlie's or Joe Allen's. We didn't
or
have
McHale's. McHale's after the show. McHale's on 46th Street.
Yeah.
The musicians like McHale's.
There was one restaurant on the Upper West Side. I think there was 2 restaurants in my neighborhood at the time. There was nothing going on up there, but there was one place, I can't even remember what it's called, but there were very few places to go after the show at night. So we stayed down in the area usually.
Well, then it kind of built up down the west side. I remember in the 70s, before that big transformation happened, when 72nd Street was the borderline, you didn't go past further uptown than 72nd Street. And the first restaurant, well, we moved up to 75th Street in Columbus because we got a four-room apartment for $185. And I said, we're moving. But it was really sketchy up there. And the first restaurant up there was a place called Ruscay's that had mirrored blue tabletop. And then that's when Dobson's opened up there too on 76th in Columbus.
That was Charlie Dobson.
Charlie's restaurant, right.
But there was a place called the Copper Hatch. The Copper Hatch was the joint.
Oh.
But anyway, old times.
Yeah.
It
was a great period.
Yeah.
It was, and the dancers, I mean, it was really fun to be a dancer back in the late 70s and early 80s. I mean, it was kind of the whole evolution from West Side was kind of peaking with West Side, with Chorus Line. And Chorus Line was, Bob, your work on Chorus Line is great. It was a pleasure. I mean, really wonderful.
It was fun. It was fun to try to be a dancer at the time.
Tree, you were good. You were good, Tree.
I always called myself a 2.5. You know, it was like Fred Astaire. Sings, acts, dances a little bit.
I was gonna end. We always have a live performance, and my dog's going crazy. Hold on, we have 4 dogs fighting. Guys, settle down. Look at these. Hey, you guys go outside. Anyway, I did so much research trying to get some damn music from the show. I found one song, and I tried to get all these different people to sing, and no one showed up. So I'm literally I just learned this song, but I thought if it brings any memories, Priscilla had no memory of it. Danny claims it was in the show. So this is for the people watching. It's Jimmy Webb, and apparently Swoosie sang this at the end of the show. So I'm gonna try it. I just printed out the music. Let's see what happens. Actually, I'll do a Priscilla introduction. Thank you. Only one life, just a tiny spark. But now that he is gone, I'm in the dark. If there are 10 million men on this planet, tell me then, how could only one life leave such a mark on me? One life, how could I have known? One life could be such a part of me, more precious than my own. Only one life, what does it mean? It's only birth and death and everything in between. If living is a pointless chore, just existence, nothing more, why does only one life leave such an empty space? One life makes it right or wrong. One life, take a love I can't replace, that always will belong to only one life. Just another soul among so many, so who cares if one should fall? But though we're small, we're full of magic. When we touch the world, we change it all. With only one life. We have only one chance to fight, but if we live it right, all we need is one life to make a difference here. One life, it's such a small amount. One life to say we care so loud and clear. We have to make it count. After all,
with only one life. Was it in the show? Oh, thank you. Anybody remember it? Oh, everybody's muted. Hold on. Sorry, everybody's muted for some reason. Hold on. Unmute.
We're
Oh, there we go.
unmuted.
Does anybody remember it?
It was
It was
it
from
replaced
the wall.
the
No.
it
Anyway.
replaced the
Seth, you sang that so beautifully.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. I just knocked my microphone over. Thank you. It's very sweet. It's Jimmy Webb, and I.
He wrote it for he wrote it for Scandal, and it was the
Wow.
only song that he recorded from Scandal. The only one.
I think it was Sweet's last song. It replaced that crossing border speech. She had this big monologue at the end, and I think it was the final workshop, like the final 10 days that song was added. I think it was at the very end of the whole 4 workshops.
Oh, you remember it, Danny, huh?
Yeah.
Bob, how crazy! I still have the original script.
Really?
I do. I was cleaning out my closets during COVID, and there it was.
Oh my God. I by the way, Michael Feinstein recorded that. I tried to get him to sing it tonight. He had a deadline, and then I wrote to Jimmy Webb. Anyway, I tried. So it was either that or She's a Dyke, and I couldn't find the music for that.
I got that too. The lyrics are very distinct.
All right. So, well, in conclusion, you guys, Bob, I want to bring you back for an all Michael Bennett night. Trish, you're amazing for organizing this. Priscilla, you got to come back with Kelly. Danny,
I will.
I was talking to Charlotte Amboise. We want to do a song and dance reunion, so you need to come to that.
Okay.
And Treat Williams, I was talking to Annie Golden, and we want to do a hair movie reunion.
Okay.
So please, God, come back. Jimmy, want to come say goodbye?
It was great
guys,
seeing all you people.
I know, great.
Yes. Thank you, Seth, for arranging this. It's always so fun to be with you.
Oh, it was so cool hanging out with you guys. I wish I'd been a part of it. Oh, man.
And thank you for doing this for the Broadway Cares.
And thank you, everyone. No, Actors Fund.
Oh, the Actors Fund.
Yes.
Sorry.
Thank you, everybody, for donating. Okay, I'm going to run the final credits, and I'll try to underscore it with something appropriate. Let's see. What can I final credits? 1, 2, 3. David, where the hell are my final credits? Can you run that? Oh, there they go. All right.
Again. Again.
Exactly.
Again.
I'll go to the ballet.
Okay, everybody. When I give you the number, come forward. Tiana, stop.
Anybody?
God, I hope I get it.